All right. Okay, so Casey Anthony. I've gotten some requests. What are my thoughts on the new documentary? And I don't like to just regurgitate what's already out there. If I don't have anything I feel like is an interesting angle or interesting thoughts that provoke discussion, then I'll probably stay away from it. But if I do, I will make a video. And I felt like I do have an angle here that I've thought about that I haven't really seen. I like to focus on psychology of someone like Chris Watts, especially when the people seem to be just normal, everyday people, and then they just do something outrageous, like kill their children. But Casey Anthony, I followed this, of course, like many of you did, and I've consumed tons of content relating to the case. I remember working at a place that had a gym, and I'm on the stationary bike, and I'm watching the screens, and it popped up, the verdict, live. And it was just one of those moments where I think most of us who follow this kind of stuff know where we were when we heard she was acquitted. I remember OJ where I was. I remember West Memphis 3 where I was. I may do those in another video because I'm getting long in the tooth, as they say. I'm getting up there in age, so I have a lot of experiences. So Casey Anthony, after all this, after this documentary, this is my fascination with Casey Anthony, and this is what I think. Other than she is an absolute pathological liar, she's got a lie for any fastball you throw at her. She has an immediate lie. And if she doesn't, she'll come up with something just off the cuff that's just ridiculous, like when she took the detectives on this scavenger hunt in the beginning about where she worked. And it's like she has no end game to her lie. She'll just lie and then try to figure out another lie and another lie, and it'll just keep going on just to kind of like buy time, I guess. I don't think Casey Anthony knows who Casey Anthony is. I think, and I mentioned this in my Chris Watts videos, I have two, they tell lies and they act accordingly to the social setting they're in or the people they are around. But there's no core. When they're by themselves, I'm not sure they even know who they are. And if they do know who they are at the core, it's a very dark, twisted, narcissistic, psychopathic, you name it, person. They just float through life mirroring what they think human interactions should be like. And through that, they have these missteps where it's like, whoa, what's that about? And when they are involved in a case that gets national attention, those moments are magnified and brought out and dissected and exposed. And especially with social media now, those red flag moments are there for everyone to see, whereas you're just another person and your family, your mom, your dad just excuses this type of behavior. If this never happened, no one would know who Casey Anthony was, and she'd just go through life a pathological liar manipulating people. But when there's a death or accidental homicide, then they're thrust into the spotlight for people like me to do these YouTube videos. My main point is there are people in this world that have come to the forefront of our consciousness that I believe don't know how to be human. And I think Casey Anthony is one of those people. I think Chris Watts is one of those people. And I think Richard Allen in Delphi is one of those people. And that's another video I'm about to do because I'm really starting to see some similarities between the three, especially between Chris Watts and Richard Allen in Delphi. So stay tuned for that video. I hope you found this interesting, thought-provoking. Let me know what you think below. Thanks.